So for those who saw the sprue board on Instagram or on my blog, what I've done is started adding more texture to it. I'm sort of flying by the seat of my pants here, but we've got scrim tape, paper straws. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more texture, but I think these are gonna end up being sort of more open, so you could sort of see down into them. I think my plan is to maybe do a bunch of additional texture in the gaps, then maybe put some sort of layer on, maybe cut up bits of card to look like little scraps of metal, or like matchsticks, coffee stirrers, that sort of stuff, to sort of build platforms. And then I might do another layer of sprue on top of that, then maybe have more gaps in that, so it's going to be sort of multi-layered. I don't want to put too much depth to the board, just because then it's going to be more difficult to get terrain on, which is going to be the thing, because I want maybe six sort of ruins that I can plop on. So here is the terrain piece I've been working on. You've probably seen posted with awkward, with a first sort of layer of texture paste on it. I think I'm going to put texture paste on the bottom side as well, just to protect it, and then prime it properly, I think. Or I might just do a second layer of texture paste to really build up that texture and sort of blend everything a bit more together. I'm really looking forward to getting more buildings done, but I think this is going to be a really long project, because this took a couple of good long greebling sessions to get it to this point. This morning even I added a lot of hair bobble piping, which is an idea I got from Bill making stuff, which I think changes it a lot. I went with a lot of these self-adhesive EVA foam shapes. I sort of just dotted them around. I think what the goal is basically to not have anywhere that's a flat surface. I think that's the ultimate goal. Also got some of these gems, sadly not self-adhesive, so I had to super glue those on. So I've spotted them around, and we've done some hair bobble cabling again, going in between the spots. Yeah, I think the next step might be just to find like random bits of crap, chuck in babies everywhere, as that seems to be a bit of an aesthetic. Going by this thing, I've also stuck in like random scale train figures. So you can see out there's a kid there, there's like a policeman down there. I don't know what purpose they serve. They might be like idols, or like just little bits. I think ultimately though, it's just about adding shape and different textures and as many different surfaces as I can get, and just to make it all look really, really busy. The hope, I suppose, in the end being that it will just all merge together and it will just look kind of random and insane. So at this point I've done a bit of a crack pass, putting some bits of skeletons I'd left over, babies, train figures, spider. I've added a few Lego bits and like mini Lego bits. But at this point I think I'm anxious to get painting it, because I think it's going to be really difficult to paint it if I then do more on top. I'm going to have a lot of bits I'm not going to be able to get to. So I think what I need to do is cover it with a layer of like a black texture, maybe do some dry brushing on the areas that are open, so at least it's sort of coloured in some way. You won't see all these bright colours sticking out, and then I can do another layer on top of that. I think that might be what I have to do. So we're a day later now. I did some Try to cover spots with black-ish texture in the hopes that any gaps that you look through, you won't be able to see much, but I think I might need to come in. I've got a black spray, but it's a gloss. I'm worried about that getting all shiny, but that might be the way to do this as quickly as possible, just to make sure everything's covered. And then what I'm quite excited to do is to start doing a layer of like boards. So I've got an actual playable surface. So you can see bits I couldn't get a brush to either. So getting a can of spray on this would actually be really helpful. So yeah, I did spray it. In the end, used an entire can of cheap discount shop black gloss, but it hasn't really come out that glossy, to be fair. That might be just because of how rough the surface is. But you will get sort of odd bits that look a little bit shinier than the rest. It has made a world of difference though. I think now I'll start with boarding different areas and try and turn this into a playable surface. I had thought about maybe dry brushing some of these parts now while they're easy to get to. But I also think where the gloss has landed, you'll get sort of reflections and light hitting, and this is supposed to be sort of the lowest level anyway. So I'm really just want shapes, I think, to go underneath so you don't look down and see. Like I say, you won't see this bit because this will be covered, but where you sort of look down and see these parts, there'll be some shape down there and not just a blank surface. So I've started boarding it, and one of the problems I found, I'll see if I can show you, which I didn't take into account, is not so much these larger bits sticking up. I knew about these, but it's sort of all these tiny ones that I mean, if you're gonna do this, maybe file those off, or get a working glue gun, because then you could just work around them. But I've been mostly using super glue. I think I was going to do a couple of layers of boards anyway, and I think just sort of looking across it now, when you do if you're going to do 2 layers, it sort of raises the second layer up, so I should be able to cover them then. Little bits of card as well, so I'm just going to keep boarding it. I twisted the board around so I could start on this corner here, and I'll see where I get to. I definitely did not order enough coffee stirrers though. So I've officially run out of coffee stirrers. I've covered barely any of the board. So I'll get some more ordered in. I don't think it's the sort of thing that shows up in any local discount shops or craft shops. I could go and rob Weatherspoons, but I probably won't. Get some ordered on Amazon, and they should be here tomorrow. But I think I'll leave this vlog there. It's been a bit of an experiment, this. I'm just filming it on my phone and editing it in iMovie, so it's going to be very low quality, very low production value. But I'm just testing it to see if it's actually quicker than doing a blog post, and you get a lot more information out of it. And it eases up the amount of images to put on the blog as well. I mean, if I upload this to YouTube and then just embed the video, then it keeps the costs of the blog down as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, and let me know any thoughts in the comments.